Taiwan Special, episode 3 for the week. I put this up on, like I said yesterday, when the police started spraying blue dye on the protesters, something snapped in me and I took it personally. And it really was the first act of aggression against the people, because it's maybe it's like the Nazis making the Jews wear this 6-pointed star. They're trying to mark the people that are going to be hauled off in the final solution. That's really what it looks like. You know what? That's what it is. That's what it is. Marking the protesters with blue is a preparation to haul them off to a final solution. You know, in Tiananmen Square, China tank rolled over 3,000 people, killing them, and scraped up their parts, their remains, with bulldozers and then burned it. 3,000 people this way. And China's not answered for that. Their leaders who were there, still alive today, are harbored and safely in China. International courts have ordered their arrest and that they be handed over, and China has refused to comply. This is years ago this happened. The people for the Tiananmen Square massacre have not answered, and China has helped protect those evil people. And frankly, we're all afraid of Korea. Why has it been legal to do any business at all with China since 1989? At all. So much this I don't understand. And in a sense, we've all bought stuff that's been made in China because we had this massive system. And again, like I said, in the first Taiwan Special, you talk, you've got to be allowed to have failure. Failing to have a deal, prices go up, you suffer consequences. That has to be possible. And you've got to be willing to live with bad consequences, just like the other guy's going to live with bad consequences if you can't make things work out. Because otherwise, he's never going to give up the bad things that he insists on having. You're going to fall sooner or later, and you might as well do it standing up, rather than be laying down and getting rolled over. I mean, even recently, was Tiananmen Square massacre a thing of the past that we should move beyond? Just a few years ago, some guy was up in a remote Chinese village. The government was doing this eminent domain stuff, tearing down his house. He wouldn't get out of the way, and the steamroller rolled him right over. His skull burst open, and his brains were lying on the pavement, and someone took a picture of it. This is not long ago, China's government. They have no business trying to spread their influence until they deal with these issues of cruelty against people. This same government is not repentant. And now they're marking and coloring people on the streets in Hong Kong. The police are not painting them blue because they think it's more fashionable. We are looking at China's own final solution against Hong Kong. China's preparing for a Holocaust. How else can you say this? Now, be willing to say it, I put the color on my Facebook page. Please support Hong Kong. Go to my Facebook page, copy my Facebook profile, and make it your profile picture for a time. It's set to time out. I don't believe in wearing a cause ribbon for the rest of my life. There's a time of awareness that we need to stir awareness of things. No, it's an American flag with the blue coloring on it. By marking these protesters with this blue color, they've attacked America. And there's this one other Westerner that's here in Taiwan that saw my comment that the attack on the Hong Kongers is an attack on America. And he dropped the F-bomb right on my Facebook page. How the F is this an attack on America? And one of my friends came along. I'm not going to say what I know, but this guy knows about immigration. This guy knows about fleeing from communism. I'm not going to say he's done it, but I do know that he does know about it. And he comes along and he says, well, maybe it's an attack on America, because an attack on liberty anywhere is something that we who have freedom at a cost, who've paid for freedom, it's something that we identify with. We've paid a heavy price for our freedom. Some of us have. And when other people get their freedoms attacked, we kind of take it personally. I don't know, something set me off. And I just, that whole attitude of you pick on one of us, you pick on all of us, really stirred up in me. I remember that from 9/11. I was in Chicago. It was September 14th, maybe it was 2-3 days after. It was on the radio in Chicago. Everyone was talking about the Twin Towers having been knocked down. And I don't want to get into the conspiracy theory stuff. I'm just saying at the time, someone said, you pick on one of us, you pick on all of us. Whoever you want to blame, fine. But, whoever, I don't want to do kookery. The attack on those towers was not just an attack on the people in them. It was an attack on all of Western civilization. Whatever you chalk it up to. And in Chicago, the guy was saying, I'm going to fly American flag on my car. That's it. I'm mad. You attack one of us, you attack all of us. And for those of you bullies out there, there's only so many people you can pick on until you've effed with the wrong ones. And that was on the radio in Chicago. And like the next day, the American flags were on all the antennas. And of course, 2 weeks later, it was showing up in remote parts of Michigan. They thought they were just the latest, greatest thing there, being 2 weeks behind the times. So an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us. And that feeling really stirred up in me when I saw this blue spray being sprayed on the protesters. And so I put these out there, and I'm over here with other people that should be Americans, and they're mad at me. Now, the American left is going to say that we're the country of slavery. Need I say that Plymouth Rock is where the Christians landed in the North, and it was the North that ended slavery? Malcolm X was famous for saying, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock landed on us. No, Plymouth Rock landed on slavery. The Pilgrims